A 19-year-old Orange County man in critical condition this morning following a possible drag race. I'm Christina Pascucci live outside of UCI Medical Center. We'll tell you all about this story coming up.
Well, the search is on this morning for a driver who left the scene of an apparent drag race. One passenger was killed. 2 drivers were critically injured. KTLA's Christina Pascucci is live in Irvine with the latest on this. Christina.
Good morning, Megan. Yeah, we're standing right outside UCI Medical Center. That's where we're told 19-year-old Jarrell Doyen is in critical condition. He's a young man who police say was behind the wheel, possibly racing another car when he lost control and crashed. His sister, 18-year-old Jessica Doyen, she was a passenger. We're showing you a picture of them right now. She was pronounced dead on scene. Now, this happened not too far from where we are right now, around 5 o'clock last night. Witnesses say Jarrell Doyen, he was racing his red convertible at a high rate of speed when he spun out of control, slammed into an oncoming traffic, and hit an innocent car. The driver of that silver minivan also in critical condition. The sister of the driver, Jessica Doyen, she has died.
There's virtually no passenger side compartment left on the red car. A crash like this is a parent's worst nightmare.
Now, on Jessica's Facebook page, there's been such an outpouring of support and love, just endless comments to her. One of her friends and coworkers wrote this, quote, "You made me happy when I was sad, made me work better when you were around, and helped me through some tough times. I want to say I'm so grateful I met you, and I know one day I'll see you again. You are definitely one of a kind." Jessica, she's described as bubbly, charming, spunky, and fun. A beautiful beam of light who will so dearly be missed. Now, police are still looking for the other driver, as you mentioned, Megan, who may have been involved in the drag race. Police say because that car didn't stop, the driver now possibly faces some manslaughter charges or felony hit and run. We'll keep you updated on this story and also the condition of Jarrell, who's inside here. Reporting live in Orange, Christina Pascucci, KTLA 5 News. I'll throw it back to you guys.
Thank you very much. 6:02 right now. The search is on at this hour for a driver who left the scene of an apparent drag race. 1 passenger was killed and 2 drivers were critically hurt. KTLA 5's Christina Pascucci live in Irvine now with the latest. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, Chris. Yeah, when we last saw you, we brought you the latest that we had heard from police on the driver of one of the car's condition, Jarrell Doyen, that 19-year-old who is allegedly behind the car drag racing. We're now hearing from hospital officials, and the very latest just coming in is that he's been released from the hospital. So one can assume, even though they won't tell us his specific condition, that he is expected to be okay. This is the hospital he was brought to last night, 19-year-old Jarrell Doyen. Now, police say he was behind the wheel, possibly racing another car when he lost control and crashed. His 18-year-old sister, Jessica, was a passenger of that red convertible. We showed you a picture of them right now. She was pronounced dead on scene. This happened not too far from here, around 5 o'clock last night in Westminster. Witnesses say Jarrell Doyen, he was in his red convertible racing at a high rate of speed when he spun out of control, slammed into oncoming traffic, and hit an innocent car on the other side of the road. The driver of that silver minivan is also seriously hurt. That person was taken to Western Medical Center. But the driver of the other car that may have been racing with Jarrell faces charges because they didn't stop the car at the scene.
If we find out that third party was directly involved in the accident, we're also looking at felony hit and run.
Now, on Jessica's Facebook page, the sister of the driver of one of those cars, there's been such an outpouring of support and love. One of her friends and coworkers saying this, "You made me happy when I was sad. You made me work better when you were around and helped me through some tough times. I want to say I am so grateful I met you, and I know one day I'll see you again. You were definitely one of a kind." And this woman, 18-year-old woman, life cut way too short. She's described as bubbly, charming, spunky, and fun. Police are still looking for the other driver who may have been involved in this, as I mentioned. So they ask you, if you have any information, please call Westminster Police. We'll continue to bring you the very latest on this. For now, I'm Christina Pascucci in Orange for KTLA 5. Chris, back to you.
Christina, thank you for the update.
Police in Orange County are looking for a driver involved in an apparent street racing crash that left 1 woman dead. 2 others, including an innocent driver, were injured in this incident. Christina Pascucci is in Westminster with the story. Christina.
Good morning, Michaela. Yes, Westminster police are searching for the driver of that car possibly involved in speeding and drag racing leading up to a crash. Let's show you some pictures of people involved. 19-year-old Jarrell Dayowen. He was driving with his sister about a mile away from their home. Witnesses say the 19-year-old was racing, lost control, and slammed into oncoming traffic. Jarrell, he was released from the hospital just earlier this morning. The man in the silver minivan that was hit on the other side of the road, he was an innocent bystander. He is in serious condition, but Jarrell's sister, 18-year-old Jessica, she did die. And because another car was possibly involved and fled, police are seeking that car. And I'm joined now by Corporal Van Woodson from the Westminster Police Department. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Take us through first. Give us a description of the car you're looking for.
Well, right now, our investigators are looking for an oversized gray Dodge pickup truck with oversized tires. That's the only description we've been given now.
Okay, and why are you looking for this car? If you find him, he faces possible charges?
Right. Our investigators spoke with a witness that described a speed contest or a drag race that preceded this crash. And so if it is found that this other vehicle was involved in the street racing and somehow caused this accident, then that driver needs to be held accountable. And
I heard, we were told earlier that possible manslaughter or felony hit and run.
Right. If this accident was a result of some recklessness or carelessness, then yeah, Mr. Dayowen or the other driver would be facing manslaughter or even murder charges.
All right, and this story has really brought up the topic of dangers of racing. Tell us a little bit about that.
Right. Street racing is always illegal. There are legal outlets. People that want to race can go find those legal outlets, but we always discourage speed contests. This particular roadway that this accident happened on is a half-mile stretch of open road and is where we occasionally get calls of street racing, but it's dangerous, and this accident could be a result of that.
Right. All right. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate that. That is the latest out of Westminster. We will continue to keep you updated as we get the latest developments. For now, reporting in Westminster, Christina Pascucci, KTLA 5 News. Back to you guys.
All right, Christina, thank you very much. Police in Westminster are looking for a driver suspected of drag racing, causing a fatal crash. KTLA's Christina Pascucci is at Westminster Police Department with the very latest. Christina.
Good morning, Glenn. Yes, police are on the hunt for that car, looking for a car that may have been involved in a drag race leading up to a fatal crash. Police are telling us, and witnesses say that whoever was driving that car was racing with 19-year-old Jarrell Dayowen. Let's take a look right now at a picture of him and his 18-year-old sister, who was also involved in the crash. She was a passenger in his car, and she died on scene last night. Now, Dayowen, he was racing. According to witnesses, he lost control and slammed into oncoming traffic. He and the person he hit, who was not involved in the race, had serious injuries, but Jarrell had the passenger, like I said, his 18-year-old sister, who died on scene. This is a double tragedy, not only because of the death of his sister, but now Jarrell and the other alleged drag racer could face serious charges. 18-year-old Jessica Dayowen, she's being remembered this morning on Facebook. People just sharing their memories of her one coworker and friend writing this: "You made me happy when I was sad. You made me work better when you were around, and you helped me through tough times. I am so grateful I met you, and I know one day I'll see you again. You are one of a kind." Now, coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, we are going to hear from a dear friend of Jessica's in an exclusive interview, so stay tuned for that. We will also continue to bring you any developments as the morning goes on. Reporting in Westminster, Christina Pascucci, KTLA 5 News.
Christina, thank you for that. Possible
drag race, and Christina Pascucci live in Westminster. We speak to her best friend exclusively coming up in a few minutes.
Search is on this morning for a driver who left the scene of a deadly street crash. Witnesses say two cars were drag racing. A passenger, one of the vehicles, was killed. Christina Pascucci is in Westminster with more. Christina.
Good morning, Michaela. Yes, police are on the hunt for one of the cars involved in that drag race, which fled after the crash happened. Now, witnesses say that 19-year-old Jarrell Dayowen, he was racing in one of the cars, and he lost control, spun out of control, and slammed into oncoming traffic. He and the person who is not involved in the race had serious injuries. Jarrell was released from the hospital this morning, but he had a passenger, his 18-year-old sister. She died on scene. And this is really really a double tragedy because on one end you have the loss of life of this young girl, and then Jarrell, him and the other alleged drag racer could face serious charges now. The young woman who was killed in that crash, her name is Jessica Dewan, and we spoke to one of her closest friends just a few moments ago. Take a listen.
Her best qualities, she's very good in school. She gets straight A's. I mean, she used to help me out. She's always had a smile on her face every time I see her. There's not one moment she didn't make me laugh. Very heartbreaking, you know. Jessica was hearing me. Just let her know that I miss her so much, and I wish I was by her side. And I wish she was still here.
Clearly, many people just devastated over this. Jessica had a lot of people who truly loved her family, in mourning this morning. Now, police are still looking for the driver that was allegedly drag racing with Jarrell Dewan. They want to ask him some questions. So if you have any information, please call Westminster Police. Reporting in Westminster, Christina Pascucci, KTLA 5. Michaela, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Christina.